players have been talking a lot about the schedule being tough and getting no time to sort of recover. It feels like the year is go, go, go. But I mean, we haven't been around each other in a long time. It's probably been what, more than 10 years now that we actually spent time together. But from your Instagram, now and then you will post a story here or there that implies that you're enjoying life a little bit. Like this last week for your birthday, you were scuba diving, but now and then you might post that you're in an after hours spot, maybe having a drink or two with some friends. So I'm curious, how how do you feel about the demands of the schedule, but also how do you balance this idea of, let's say, going out or having some fun with actually letting the body recover? Because I remember me and Jody's on the road a lot this year playing challenges, and he came back and he had like maybe 6 days before he left again. But it's like, man, I haven't gone out in months. I need to release for
Yeah.
the soul, but at the same time, it's bad for the body. Like, how do you balance this with your schedule and also with like the emotional health, I guess?
Well, you know me. I'm the first guy. I'm a quite social guy outside the tennis court. I like to spend time with my friends, with my brothers, with my family. I'm someone who enjoys a dinner with different people, you know. And I always say like I do and leave everything for my tennis, but there is more than tennis in this life. And tennis will always be my number one. But I know from myself, which I found out during the years once in a while, I need this day where I'm completely off from tennis, where I go with my friends, I have a drink with my friends, have a nice dinner. So just to get the mind in the right spot again. I'm someone, like I said, I'm quite social guy. I like a lot of things in life, which has been also difficult the last few years. And I have to say now, I start to do it better and better. And I guess it's all about timing. Like whenever you plan that day, like I'm not planning it 2 days before a tournament, but if I'm home for 2 weeks, I just got home. Yeah, I plan that day. I go out with my friends, with my brothers, with my family. I do the things that maybe some players never do, but it keeps me happy. It keeps me fresh, and it only makes me realize what I have, what I do for it, and it also gives me new energy to go again. And then regarding the schedule. I'm I mean, I agree. There are a lot of tournaments. I mean, you guys know it, especially if you're in the lower, if you're around five, six, 700 in the world, you're trying to break through. I- you almost need to play every week because it's tough with these points, especially in the futures. Um, like where I'm at now, yeah, I win one match. Fuck, you guys need to win either in challengers, you need to win a tournament, or in futures, you need to win two or three tournaments to get these amount
Yeah,
of points. So I feel like everybody is making each other a little bit crazy by playing so much. You
I
know,
agree.
everybody is playing like catch up every time. And I'm
100%.
I'm someone, I'm not the biggest fan of playing so much, also because I'm someone who enjoys being at home. I'm someone who enjoys being around my family, my friends. So in the end of the day, we are our own bosses. Like we decide when we play. But it's also for me, like I'm trying to for example, this year I play Madrid, Rome. I lose early in Rome. And I go to Bordeaux to play a challenger, trying to be seeded at French Open because I needed like two or three matches and I would be seeded at French Open. And looking back, I'm like, yeah, why did I even do that? Like now I was unseeded and you made fourth round. Wimbledon, I'm seeded and I go out first round. So it doesn't even matter. If you have the level, you're gonna make it anyway. But the whole thing of playing a lot, yeah. If you do well, if your name is Alcaraz or Sinner, you do well in the big tournaments, you don't need to play a lot. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
unfortunately for 99% of this world, yeah, we need to play a lot because everybody around you is playing, trying to catch you up. You don't play a week, you lose 20 spots if you're 500 in the world because everybody is
yeah,
playing every week and there's so many opportunities. But at the same time, um, if we talk about the ATP schedule, the tour schedule, yeah, that the thousands became 2 weeks. I'm not a big fan of it. Like days off between best of three for men's, I don't think it's needed. I understand the whole money thing. I understand the tournaments earn more money, but in the end of the day, the only way for us to change it is if we all step up and none of us will show up at one of these tournaments. But it's not happening because there's just too much money also for us involved in it. So I don't know. I'm someone who I stick to my schedule. I try to take those weeks off. Like I said, I had a holiday after Wimbledon. Um, yeah, I try to. not play as much as everybody else does, but at the same time, last year my ranking dropped a bit to like 50, 60, and you're like, damn, I'm dropping out of the thousands, some of the thousands and the 500s. I need to get my ranking back up. So what did I do? Yeah, you start playing every week. But I think in the end of the day, to keep your mind fresh, the mental, physical health is the most important thing. And you see so many players lately like talking about mental health, like playing too much pressure. Yeah, well, guys, I'm sorry to say, but you all play every week. Last week, I look up a few guys. They are top 50 in the world. They played already 22 tournaments. 22
Yeah.
tournaments. We're in the middle of July. Like if you keep on that rate, you're gonna make 40 tournaments.
But
So
That's
that's
nuts.
it that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I had it myself with the whole challenger thing, like especially with the challengers, man. Everybody's playing every week. Last week we were keeping an eye on who was making the cut of US Open because it was today, and everybody playing the challengers, man. Everybody need like 10 more points, 20 more points to make main draw. So everybody's pushing, pushing, coming to the next tournament, and you guys know it yourself. I think the traveling, it's there comes so much with it, like time zones, different hotels, different beds, different food. Not like the rhythm changes every week, which I think makes it very, very difficult.
I think also it gets tricky maybe like after US Open, between US Open and the end of the year, because everyone like start at the top, the guys um who are like on the cusp of making Australia main or qualies, that's what they're thinking about. Or just qualifying for Australia altogether. And then you go down the list and it's the guys like, let's say me, for example, last year I was like maybe 350 and I wanted to try my best to get set into the challenges. So now I'm playing every week. I'm playing like 9 tournaments in a row, losing first round in like 8 of the 9 tournaments, but I can't really take a week off because I'm chasing, you know? So it's like I think it would be better if
Yeah.
the whole tour, like all of the tour, from futures to challenges to ATPs, gets cut off at the same time, so people don't just chase and chase and chase forever and ever, you know. And then it rewards the people who play a million weeks in a row, but then you're so tired you don't, you know. And then the off season is so small before the next year starts again. So like, it's so tricky with, and I think Roddick talked about it like about like the 250s and stuff after the U.S. Open. Like I don't know, like I think the season is just too long altogether, and people are going to play,
Yeah.
like you said, too many weeks.
I mean, I had it the last 3 years where we qualified for the Davis Cup finals in the middle of November or the end of November. And I basically have been ruining my Australia trip for the last 2 years. So last year I finished in Paris, went on holidays, 8 days, came back to prepare for Davis Cup, played Davis Cup. We made finals in the end, so we were for 10 days there. Went after Davis Cup, went again on holidays for 6, 7 days, and then try to play catch up in the whole of December because I've been playing so much in November. So I completely agree. Also, like the 250s after Paris Bercy, like makes no sense. Like you're not gonna get any big names because I think this year they changed the rule that they don't count for the finals. So the finals will be set
Okay.
after Paris. Um, and like you say, like yourself, players trying to you know put yourself settled in the challengers, trying to make main draw beginning of the year. The challengers are so strong. You need a higher ranking to be in. You don't want to go to, well, with all the respect, you don't want to go to Monastir for 4 weeks in January.
Yeah.
Like that's not what you're looking for when you're 350 in the world.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you wanna go
No,
to
last
That's
Australia,
not
year,
the
play two
vibe.
challenge.
last year at
That's not the vibe.
350, I started 315Ks on clay, and I went first round all three. And I was one seed at all three of them.
Yeah, but it's also like, man, if I look at the draws of the I mean, I follow a lot of tennis. I watch a lot of tennis. I try to follow some young kids. If I see challengers these days, you have so many. First of all, you have all the players who have the ranking to be in. They're good. You have juniors coming in with like junior exams. Like they hit the shit out of the ball these days. These guys, they start
Crazy,
to hit
bro.
faster and faster. Man, it's unbelievable. I practiced with a junior in Holland, 15 years old. The guy's beating me from the baseline without serve. Like he's hitting through me. Like 15 years old, man. What are we talking about? The guy's 60 kilos. I'm 90 kilos. He's hitting the shit out of me. And then and then you also have so many players trying to come back, like ex top 100 players. They show up again because it's getting interesting. I mean, the money is getting more and more. So I feel like the challengers, man, they are a dogfight every day. You're fighting for every point there. And I feel like sometimes that's a bit different on the tour, like you go to 250s or guys show up and they don't even want to play. They give you these matches for free. They're like, I don't want to be here this week. I don't feel like it. Like we're talking first round ATPs. Well, you're not having this in a challenger, man. Everyone is playing for 6, 7 points full and trying to get to the top 100.
It's crazy, bro.
It's a completely different life. Like
Yeah.
stepping up into the challenges from the futures is like you finally get some free hotel rooms. You finally like getting a little bit more
Some
prize money.
respect.
People
A
treat
little
you
bit
like
of
a
love.
human being. You know, it's like I want to be here.
Yeah.
Minimum, I want to be here. You know, so
Yeah.
you're like just fighting.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this
It's
clip. If you want to watch the full episode, the link is in the description down below.